Cabell Brand, a great Roanoker who made millions in business, but who saw business as a means to an end. A model citizen who gave the world a model organization in the war on poverty. Cabell Brand was born in Salem on April 11, 1923, to William and Ruth Brand, the latest in a proud conservative Virginia family. Brand's first name came from his maternal grandfather, Edward Marshall Cabell. His grandfather gave the young boy advice as well as his name, serving as Brand's mentor in his early years. If his name and inspiration came from his maternal grandfather, it was his paternal grandfather, W. Lee Brand, who would set the stage for Brand's success in business. It was this grandfather who started the Brand shoe business, which his grandson would one day turn into a major moneymaker. But there were many events that would shape Cabell Brand before he was ready to take over the reins of his own company. Brand's potential as a leader emerged when he was a standout student at Andrew Lewis High School. On the debate team, he joined forces with Keister Greer and defeated Marshall Fishwick and Sidney Weinstein for the 1939 state championship. For that accomplishment, he received a telegram from a teacher, Miss Shockley, expressing her great respect for Brand's gift as a speaker. There were many other accomplishments in high school, and Brand's classmates would vote him most likely to succeed and most outstanding graduate. After high school, he would follow his father and brother's footsteps and attend VMI. World War II interrupted his college education, and Brand spent the years 1943 through 47 in the Army, serving in the 70th Infantry. When Brand left the service, it was with the rank of captain and a Bronze Star. Returning to VMI, Brand became the captain of Veterans Company, where, as a senior, he negotiated with a surprised General Dick Marshall, the superintendent, telling him that members of his war-seasoned company were tired of living in the barracks and drilling. He must have said the right thing, because it was the last year seniors were required to live in the barracks. Brand majored in engineering and graduated first in his class. After a stint in Europe as a foreign service agent in Berlin during the Berlin blockade and as an economic analyst, Brand returned to join the family business. It was 1949. The company was now called Orthovent, and sales were $150,000 a year. Profit was $2,000. Brand's father was ready to close up shop with little hope that any of his children would join the business. Because of Cabell's interest, he gave him 40% of the company, along with the right to buy the remaining 60%. Under Brand's leadership, the company grew at an amazing pace. By 1970, the shoe company was in a new big warehouse, and Brand took it public, changing the name to Stuart McGuire. Eventually, the company would offer 12 catalogs of its own and 20 from other companies. At its peak in the early 1980s, Stuart McGuire would do $556 million a year. Stuart McGuire was also a sponsor of Junior Achievement, and Brand's daughter Mimi was a participant in one of those groups. In 1986, Brand sold the company to the Home Shopping Network. Today, the company ships up to 40,000 packages a day and demonstrates Roanoke's attractive location near an interstate and within 2 days shipping of 2/3 of the country. Despite his success in business, Cabell Brand will most likely be remembered for his contributions to the community and the systems and programs he designed to help the poor. His community service resume was already impressive when he founded TAP, Total Action Against Poverty, in 1965. In the early 1960s, from his position on the Roanoke Valley Council of Community Services, Brand saw a way to take a federal grant and leverage the money into a revolutionary new organization. Total Action Against Poverty would become an umbrella organization for 40 different programs. TAP was and is driven by Brand's belief that the poor need a hand up, not a handout. From legal aid to Head Start to Project Discovery, the goal was to educate children of the poor in order to break the cycle of poverty. Brand spelled out his beliefs in the foreword to Edwin Cobb's 1984 book, No Ceasefires, The War on Poverty, Also, in numerous other publications where he was the author or the subject. Brand even made network television news when Charles Kuralt's Sunday Morning used TAP as its cover story on an Easter morning in the late 1980s.
And it really does distress me to hear people say that we waged a war on poverty and poverty won. Poverty hasn't won. We know how to solve the problem, and we will find the resources to deal with it.
Brand would stay on as founder and CEO of TAP for 31 years, where another key success was the Virginia Water Project, which brought running water to tens of thousands of homes. During those 3 decades, he reiterated his belief that the American free enterprise system is the best in the world, but that the best parts of the system have not been extended to all groups. As hard as it may be to believe, Brand continued to support other community projects and even started several others, such as the Cabell Brand Center at Roanoke College, where students learn to appreciate and preserve the environment. Brand has remained active in dozens of other organizations, either as a member, director, or founder. In his spare time, he and his wife Shirley, to whom he gives much of the credit for his success, have traveled to such destinations as Africa, the Yucatan, and China, stopping in each locality to meet key leaders and to learn new ideas that might help back in the Roanoke Valley. Today, even though he's running his own consulting firm, Brand still believes that 25% of one's time should be devoted to things other than business. Over the years, that's translated into countless people who can read and write, have running water, or a safe place to live. All part of one businessman's plan to take a long-term approach to problem solving, a belief that by helping others, we help the community and thus ourselves. The Roanoke Valley is fortunate that Cabell Brand lives his life here, that we may be the beneficiaries of his insight, his plans, and his success.